Welcome to Grand Prix, your go-to channel for the fastest updates in Formula One. We've got 3 hot stories for you, so make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay ahead of the pack. Let's get started. Red Bull racing at a crossroads. Verstappen's patience tested amid technical struggles. The atmosphere at Red Bull Racing has reached a critical point as the team battles to address fundamental issues with their 2025 challenger while attempting to retain their star driver Max Verstappen. What was once Formula One's most dominant operation now finds itself mired in technical difficulties and internal uncertainty, with their 3-time world champion growing increasingly frustrated. A championship hangover. Red Bull's current predicament stems from a concerning performance trajectory that began late in their dominant 2024 campaign. While Verstappen secured last year's Drivers' Championship through early season dominance, the team's development pace slowed noticeably as rivals closed the gap. This season has seen those warning signs materialize into concrete problems, with the RB20 proving temperamental and lacking the outright pace of McLaren's MCL38. Verstappen's public and private frustrations reflect the car's key weaknesses: inconsistent aerodynamic performance across different circuits, unpredictable handling characteristics that change session to session, a noticeable straight-line speed deficit to McLaren and Ferrari. The Verstappen factor. The Dutch driver's discontent has become the team's most pressing concern. Sources within Red Bull reveal Verstappen has expressed serious doubts about the team's technical direction, going so far as to suggest other constructors might be better positioned for future success. This skepticism reportedly stems from development missteps. The team's inability to properly address the RB20's fundamental flaws despite months of analysis. Strategic uncertainty. Questions about whether Red Bull's current technical team can regain their innovative edge. Competitive timeline. Concerns that rivals have established a sustainable performance advantage. Damage control mode. Red Bull's recent high-stakes summit aimed to address these issues head-on. The meeting, which included Verstappen, senior engineers, and team management, served 2 critical purposes. Technical roadmap presentation. Engineers outlined concrete upgrade plans with performance targets for late April, Barcelona/Saudi Arabia. Initial aerodynamic updates focusing on rear stability. Mid-May, Emilia-Romagna GP. Comprehensive package addressing the car's core balance issues. Driver reassurance. Management emphasized their commitment to providing Verstappen with a championship-capable car by the European season start. The Tsunoda gamble. The decision to promote Yuki Tsunoda over Liam Lawson forms part of this stabilization strategy. Team insiders suggest Tsunoda's experience and consistent feedback could help accelerate development, though some question whether any driver could compensate for the car's inherent limitations. The road ahead. Verstappen's temporary satisfaction following the meeting offers Red Bull a crucial window to deliver on their promises. However, paddock observers note his calm demeanor might indicate resigned acceptance rather than renewed optimism. The coming races will prove decisive. Barcelona/Saudi Arabia upgrades must demonstrate tangible progress. Emilia-Romagna package needs to validate Red Bull's development direction. Mid-season performance will determine whether Verstappen seriously considers activating exit clauses. A pivotal moment. Red Bull stands at a franchise-defining juncture. Their ability to transform the RB20 from a problematic machine into a consistent winner will not only shape this season's championship, but could determine whether they retain the services of the sport's most valuable driver. As the European season approaches, the pressure on Red Bull's technical department has never been higher, with their star drivers' patience wearing thinner by the race. Do you believe Red Bull can turn their season around and convince Verstappen to stay? Or has the Dutchman already mentally checked out? Share your thoughts below. McLaren's flexi-wing controversy. How new FIA tests are shaking up the 2025 season. The ongoing debate over flexible aerodynamic components has taken center stage once again in Formula One, with McLaren finding itself at the heart of a growing technical controversy. Recent investigations reveal the Woking-based team was among several outfits forced to modify their rear wing designs following stricter FIA flexibility tests introduced at the Chinese Grand Prix. This latest chapter in F1's perennial flexi-wing saga traces back to last season. when Red Bull first raised concerns about competitors allegedly gaining unfair advantages through movable aerodynamic surfaces. While the FIA initially addressed these complaints through private discussions with teams, the governing body has now taken more decisive action by implementing rigorous new load tests that reduce permissible deflection to just 0.5 millimeters, a dramatic reduction from previous tolerances. The technical tightrope. At the core of the controversy lies a delicate engineering balance. Multiple teams, including McLaren and Ferrari, had reportedly developed rear wings that flex strategically at high speeds, creating a mini DRS effect. This design philosophy offered dual benefits: reduced drag on straights for higher top speeds, while maintaining necessary downforce in corners. However, these innovations pushed the boundaries of Article 3.9 of F1's technical regulations, which mandates that aerodynamic components must remain rigidly secured and immobile relative to the car. According to technical analyses by the race, McLaren's original rear wing design would have failed the new tests by a significant margin. This forced the team to hastily redesign their rear wing assembly ahead of China, incorporating stiffer materials and reinforced mounting points. The changes came at a measurable performance cost. Telemetry data from Shanghai showed McLaren's straight-line speed advantage had diminished compared to earlier races, explaining why their typically dominant car faced stiffer competition. The regulatory crackdown. FIA Technical Director Nicholas Tombatsis confirmed that 4 to 5 teams required modifications to comply with the updated tests. This admission validates Red Bull's long-standing complaints while raising questions about why previous tests failed to catch these designs. The governing body has now eliminated all tolerance margins, warning that any non-compliant components discovered at Suzuka could result in immediate exclusion if teams lack replacement parts. McLaren team principal Andrea Stella maintains their innocence, insisting their original designs were fully legal under previous interpretations. "We haven't changed our fundamental concept," Stella claimed. "We've simply adapted to the FIA's new testing methodology." However, paddock insiders suggest the team's China updates went beyond mere compliance tweaks, representing a more fundamental redesign of their rear wing philosophy. The wider implications. This technical clampdown has created ripple effects throughout the grid. Performance rebalancing. McLaren's reduced straight-line speed has brought them closer to the chasing pack, potentially tightening the championship battle. Development costs. Multiple teams have been forced to divert resources to redesign compliant components mid-season. Regulatory credibility. The FIA faces scrutiny over why these designs weren't caught earlier, given their apparent non-compliance with the spirit of the rules. As the circus heads to Suzuka, all eyes will be on whether McLaren can regain their early season dominance with their revised package. The high-speed sweeps of Japan's legendary circuit will provide the ultimate test of whether their modified rear wing can deliver the necessary stability without sacrificing too much straight-line performance. Do you believe the FIA's stricter tests represent fair enforcement of the rules, or are they stifling legitimate technical innovation? Should teams be allowed to exploit gray areas in the regulations, or does this undermine sporting fairness? Share your perspective below. Red Bull's driver shakeup sparks controversy. Verstappen's growing frustration. Red Bull Racing's decision to replace Liam Lawson with Yuki Tsunoda after just 2 races has sent shockwaves through the Formula One paddock, exposing deeper tensions within the championship-winning team. The abrupt driver change, while intended to boost performance, has instead highlighted the growing disconnect between Red Bull's management and its star driver Max Verstappen. A ruthless decision. The Milton Keynes-based team justified the swap by citing Tsunoda's experience and consistent performances at Racing Bulls. However, many within the sport have criticized the move as premature, arguing that Lawson deserved more time to adapt to the pressures of driving for a top team. The New Zealander's demotion after just 2 Grand Prix weekends, one of which saw him compromised by car issues, reinforces Red Bull's reputation for its cutthroat approach to driver development. Verstappen's silent discontent. Behind the scenes, 3-time world champion Verstappen has reportedly expressed significant displeasure with the team's direction. According to Red Bull advisor Helmut Marko, Verstappen believes the team's focus should be on fixing their problematic RB20 rather than blaming drivers for performance issues. "Max isn't happy," Marko admitted. "But we need 2 competitive cars, not just for the Constructors' Championship, but to support Max's title defense. This frustration isn't new. During Sergio Perez's struggles last season, Verstappen consistently defended his teammate, arguing the car's unpredictable nature was the root cause of their performance gap. The Dutchman's current silence on Lawson's demotion speaks volumes, with paddock insiders suggesting it reflects his waning confidence in Red Bull's technical direction. The bigger picture: Red Bull's hasty driver change comes at a precarious time. The RB20 has proven significantly more temperamental than its dominant predecessors. Rivals McLaren and Ferrari have closed the performance gap. Verstappen's contract contains performance clauses that could allow an early exit. The team's leadership appears caught between two competing priorities: short-term results to keep Verstappen content and long-term stability to rebuild their technical advantage. By promoting Tsunoda, they've opted for immediate experience over long-term potential, a gamble that could either stabilize their season or accelerate existing tensions. What comes next? All eyes now turn to Suzuka, where Tsunoda will make his Red Bull debut at his home Grand Prix. The Japanese driver faces immense pressure to deliver immediately, knowing Verstappen's patience is wearing thin. Meanwhile, Lawson must regroup at Racing Bulls, his F1 future hanging in the balance after just 2 races with the senior team. For Verstappen, the coming races will be crucial in determining whether Red Bull can address their car's fundamental issues. With Mercedes and Aston Martin reportedly monitoring his situation closely, the team's handling of this crisis could decide whether their star driver sees his future in Milton Keynes or elsewhere. Do you think Red Bull made the right call replacing Lawson so quickly? Could this decision push Verstappen toward the exit? Share your thoughts below. For more in-depth F1 analysis and breaking news, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. Your support helps us deliver quality content throughout the season.